And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We carry on with our special coverage. We have with us over the phone General Osama Mahmoud Kaber, the counselor at the Egyptian Command and Staff College. And he's going to give us more insights on the current escalation happening in the Middle East. Good evening to you, General Osama.
Good evening to you and Ramadan Kareem to everyone there.
Sir, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hello?
General Osama, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you pretty much well. I hear you. I hear you.
Yes, I hear you now clearly, sir. It's an honor having you with us on Nile TV International. And we are now in the third week of the current war and the current conflict happening in the Middle East. And from your insights, sir, as you have been closely monitoring the situation, please give us those insights as we move forward with the matter.
Right. We have entered the third week now within this conflict took place in the Middle East, starting from the 28th of February 2026. And this war has been waged like suddenly by the United States of America and Israel against Iran. And we found Iran actually could absorb this strike. Then they retaliated against the United States of America, Israel, and also the GCC countries, which is very bad actually to target some spots and some locations in the GCC. However, I would say that the three counterparts now are under attack. Iran have lost something like 80 up to 85% from its military capabilities. That was denounced by the Department of War, Pete Hicks himself, like too many times he was speaking about that. And also there's like a massive scale of casualties in Israel, in the cities, Tel Aviv, Haifa, in Haria, in Caesarea, in Negev, in Dubai, in the airports, in the oil refineries in Saudi Arabia, in Bahrain, all the GCC, and also some casualties have hit the United States military assets. We had about 6 military personnel been injured. We had about another more than 1,000 personnel, 6 been died, and other 1,000 personnel may be injured, and 2 KC tanker, oil tanker from their air forces. One of them been dropped, and the other 6 got killed, and the other one is with casualties. So it's getting like a large, much more day after day, because none of them would tend to go to the diplomatic channel route. So let's observe what's happening within the very near future.
Sir, we are going to be taking this look on how the Gulf countries right now are being attacked is only going to make the entire area turn into an escalation that we are currently seeing it right now. What I'm trying to say is the Gulf countries being under attack right now from Iran only affects how the global trade is working. It's very obstructed, with also Iran making lots of chaos in the Strait of Hormuz, trying to close it and causing lots of disruption in the global trade. With Iran making this chaos in the Strait of Hormuz, as I said, the global trade is disrupted, and accordingly this affects the Far East countries. And with the Far East being affected, also China and Russia, they're going to be pressured. Is Iran using the card of economic pressure that happens globally, so it would make the United States and Israel halt their attacks?
Right. Let's talk about this quickly. Yes, we know now the GCC countries have been targeted by the Iranians. Like they started targeting the GCC since the 3rd day, as I remember, and up till now they are still targeting this. So now I could understand that the GCC countries are wise enough now not to put themselves in what to be so-called the proxy war. So they understand. That's why they tend to get stuck to the diplomatic channel route much more even than to get into the military operations. And we do praise that very much. We recognize the recognition for this threat. Secondly, when you speak about the Hormuz Strait, true, yes, it's pretty much obvious that Iran now is in the strategic military operations they are conducting against America and Israel, they are also putting something like another economic strategic depth. Because as you understand, the Hormuz Strait controls maybe something like 25% from the whole world oil trade. So now this 25% been lost, and the oil prices like gone up crazy, up high, and Europe is totally affected, the United States of America, also the Middle East, and for sure the GCC countries, because this is the main source of their national income. I would say the Iranians are conducting this sort of operations through the economic domain, trying to form a sort of let's say a sort of pressure, exactly, through the whole world actually, to start pressure on the United States of America and make them end this war as they started that. When we speak about China, true, China is dragging something like 14 up to 15% from their oil trade from Iran, which represents 98% of the Iranian oil, exported oil. So now, yes, China is a little bit heavy and wise too. They are observing this whole situation from all above and relating to what happened in Venezuela, because they take something around 5% also from the Venezuela oil, and now Venezuela oil is being siege captured by the United States of America. So it seems that it's getting much more like wider and wider, moving from three counterparts fighting against each other, moving to the provincial war, and by the end, hopefully not, we're not going to get to this conflict to be the bigger one, to get some other countries within the Far East. Yes, Iran is using Hormuz.
General Osama, strategically, as allies of Iran, Russia, and China, North Korea, when are they going to be, from your point of view, when are they going to be intervening to stop the war and back up their ally Iran? And how is this going to change the scheme of the current war in the Middle East?
To change the scheme, I would say first I'll speak about Russia. Russia is the most beneficial the political entity now, because they are watching that and they have some problems with the Ukrainians, and now the Russians have the oil and they have the natural gas too. And as we understand, Qatar, the second exporter for the natural gas within the whole world, have closed its refineries. So now Russia is a beneficiary now within what's happening, and they are observing and they are trying to I don't understand. This is because of Ukraine, so they can trade the China vote with the Americans through what's happening in Ukraine. But when we look at China, I would say China has some information have been like propagated in the media. China is maybe have some sort of information exchange with the Iranians. We heard that within the last 3 months before the war, maybe they provided them some of the air defense systems, some of them new. And up to now, I would say China and Russia are heavy enough to wait a little bit and observe what's happening, while North Korea, no one have talked to those people. And I think they don't need really to get into this, because let them stay away. We're not pretty much sure what the president might be doing within the near future if something happens.
Yes, General Osama, thank you so much for being with us on Nile TV International, and thank you for your valuable insights on the current escalation happening in the Middle East. We had with us General Osama Mahmoud Kaber, the counselor at the Egyptian Command and Staff College. Thank you so much for being with us, and thank you for tuning into Nile TV's special coverage.